Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center here in Santa Barbara, where the weather is changing. We have a big black cloud. We have sun. If we look to our right toward the next town, and if I look out the front window, the sky is bright. But all I know is that it's perfect, exactly the way it is. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where we are witnessing the peeling away of stories that have been told to us that are no longer accepted as true. Every day up here on the elevated platform of living, we are watching from this perspective, fortified with our shared knowledge of the truth of our origin and the important roles we are playing at this time. That is very exciting. And I'm so glad you're here. This morning, I received an email from a woman in Sweden who purchased a recording and was expecting to see Robert Young. I answered her and recognized so much that has happened as I wrote. Hello. So glad to hear from you and was wondering when the last time was that we heard from you. I understand your expectation, but Robert Young is certainly not a guru. I've known gurus who never share the limelight and keep it for themselves. Robert has often said that he wants us all to surpass him. And that is why on July 11th, 2018, he said to me, Barbara, you will deliver the broadcast this Sunday. And that's what I did. Robert told Genya Novak that she would broadcast on Wednesdays and David Best would broadcast on Fridays. And I understand that you were expecting Robert. Please stay in touch. Love and harmony, Barbara. Well, since that day in July of 2018, the three of us have been given the opportunity to grow exponentially as we deliver and agree from our three very different perspectives. On Wednesday, Genya, with her light-filled manner, brings us all in touch with her love of nature in all its aspects. This insight into Genya makes it so easy to see how her charms, she charms all the people at work in the five-star hotel when she drives a white Rolls Royce for the guests. The stories of her passengers are endearing when they all fall in love with Genya. David Best's broadcast title is Friday Update, when he speaks so kindly of Genya's and my broadcasts, and so much more. He shares his writings with us, which are so profound and key in everyone's life that I just want to publish them and record oral interpretations of them all. The titles alone. One is, You Have Always Been Enough, a message for all women. And We're on the right side of love. Those speak volumes. That brings me back to last Sunday, when I had the supreme pleasure of inviting Tim Partenfelder to broadcast from the Advancement Center. His broadcast literally sparkled with Tim's enthusiasm and information he shared from his core. I introduced his constancy and positivity as the best ways to describe Tim, and we have all agreed that he will be joining us often. This past Friday, David referred to a writing from which he shared his own experience of being in the zone, a term used in athletics. I am always in the zone and ready for a miracle. And that is exactly what happened to me Wednesday afternoon. I was sitting with Mickey Sever and just happened to check my email. Well, you can imagine my delight when I discovered an email from Robert with his writing that he had just completed. I immediately recorded this and did not play it for David and Genya, who were out, until after dinner in front of a lovely fire. It was then that Robert further revealed the meanings. It is my honor and pleasure to share this latest writing with all of you. And it's marked March 11th, 2020. It is time to consider many new things as a part of your normal everyday life, and to look into the future as if it is a normal action in opening your awareness for what is on its way. Like every action in your physical activities, it is necessary to watch where you are going and to keep your eye on the ball, or whatever is necessary to achieve your desires. There has been a continuous action of neglect that can be justified by many external sources of interference. But the time has come to activate the simplest of all your magic abilities: the presence of a special awareness that has not been used before can be easily seen if you look past each moment and capture what is beyond. It is like keeping your eye on the ball, even when you're running and changing direction to keep up with the play. The movement of the ball is a single functional awareness, and the flow of the game is a completely separate function that is the interfering factor, which can make you lose track of the ball. The hidden awareness is a unique capability which allows more than one function to interact with another in a dance and produces an outcome that is far more satisfying than any individual function. Like a perfect interaction with a ball to produce a scoring result. In everyday life, there is an awareness of what can be used as an opportunity, even when it is not obvious by logic or analysis. There is a hidden moment when action can bring rewards, even when there seems to be zero opportunity in logical terms. A conscious awareness is possible if you are familiar with the workings of the flow in your life and the movement of the hidden signals held within the realms of the unknown. The most amazing opportunities always appear out of nowhere and when least expected. This is the key to harnessing this unique awareness that has never been used before. If you remain switched on to the future and stay with the flow of life, your unique awareness will come to life and allow you to work with the special magic that everyone wished they could capture. I have read that portion so many times, and reading it to you right now has filled me with a brand new awareness that I've never experienced before. So play this again and again. It's your life. Now, this leads directly into today's broadcast, Experiences of the Unknown with Barbara. The inspiration for my invitation to today's broadcast was a song written by our dear friend David Jones, who composed this upon meeting this woman who was to be his future wife. 7 years later, at their wedding, David sang this song to Vidi. The title is There'll Be a Time. The other night, I woke up in the middle of the night with the rest of the title. There'll be a time when all your troubles will melt like lemon drops high above the chimney tops, and that time is now. All of a sudden, I found myself singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and know that our experience of rainbows here at the Advancement Center is that they drop into the canyon just beyond the house. And this is where we live. And it is filled with magic and miracles. The somber accompaniment these days, desperately trying to get our attention, has been the omniscient, dreary news that has so many in fear. My mother always told me that the true meaning of that is false evidence appearing real. Boy, does that fit. A wonderful text came in Friday night from a very dear friend, Khalid, and here it is. He is addressing those of us in Swiss Indo called honorables. A wonderful, wonderful text. Believe it or not, I read it at 3 a.m. Dear honorables, there is a new flu virus, the awakening flu. It leads to a clear mind in the here and now. Then follows a strong aversion in the mass idiot media. Finally, the symptoms change into a heightened unity consciousness and complete connection to one's own soul and a previously unknown freedom from fear. Finally, the illness ends in unconditional love and gratitude towards the Creator and creation. All methods that have been tried and tested so far, such as chemtrails, football World Cup, creating fear, mass vaccinations, and threats of global war scenarios, etc., seem to be completely ineffective. The dark power elite is completely helpless. Therefore, a new epidemic warning level of the World Health Organization has been declared for this virus, as it can fundamentally improve life on the planet. The pathogen could be found quickly, but not isolated. It is called the truth virus by experts and is highly contagious. Avoid contact with people who think for themselves and act responsibly. It is suspected that the virus can also be spread by thought transmission. According to the latest investigations, the exact transmission route has now been discovered without any gaps. The course of the disease usually begins with reading this text. The incubation time is a few milliseconds. I love that. I answered him immediately at 3 a.m. our time with brilliant. This hug of truth, short for hot, should replace all vaccinations. Thank you, Khalid. Yeah. That's brilliant. And remarkable. And Khalid shares. Well, as a matter of fact, he goes on our Swisindo Skype group every morning with a reason to welcome the new day positively. He is a bright light, and we're lucky to have met him. And how did we meet him? He found Robert on the internet. Thought transmission is our collective power. Robert tells a very important story about his mother several years ago in Australia. She was always writing to the council in the town where she lived, requesting improvements be made for the safety of the seniors living in the town, like better walkways leading to the bus stop, a safer crosswalk leading to the stores, and there were more. Nothing ever got done. When Robert heard her frustration, he merely said, "Put your requests in the tape recorder in the sky." And she did just that. And lo and behold, things began to happen, much to her delight. This is more than just a lovely tale. It works. In my own experience, when I was completing my bachelor's degree in education, I had an assignment to create a game for children. Now, my own children were 15, 12, and 10. One night in the living room, I asked them for their favorite features of every board game they ever played, from Monopoly to Parcheesi, Chutes and Ladders, and all the rest. We used an old game board with a clean cover and proceeded to include all their ideas. Get in Touch was the new name. We had thank you cards for every participation. Another stack of cards with acting out a charade on each card. The usual traps to make it exciting and having to go back some spaces. And the most important thing was the winner was the one with the most thank you cards. We had fun. I got a great grade, but the best were the kids in my 4th grade class where I was a student teacher. They would be hanging out of the door waiting for me each morning saying, "Did you bring the game?" What's better than that? The game was also a hit with my patients at the psych center, where the focus was on fun, getting in touch, and with playing the loving and caring rules created by kids having fun. The game was never copywritten, and I was always meaning to develop it and perhaps bring it to market. Years later, I was visiting Toy Fair at the Javits Center in New York City. A woman was sitting at a table with a game board there for prospective buyers. The first thing I noticed was this game, in truth, was my game. And it had won 6 national awards for being so advanced and effective in developing children in a most positive way. Together with my children, we developed a beautiful game that many, many people have enjoyed. Plus, we must have placed it all up there in the tape recorder in the sky for others to benefit. Fast forward to today. What we all transmit is actually affecting the world around us in a most positive way. Like Khalid's truth virus. Let's see. Whatever I have with me here in Santa Barbara means that I took it with me to Hawaii in 2006, took this to Australia in 2009, and brought it to Santa Barbara in 2012. It's amazing to me. And what it is, it's called a sport stat. And you've probably put your finger in here when you visited a doctor. So you put your finger in, it lights up, and it tells you your heart rate and your oxygen, what does it do? Your oxygen intake. Well, I must be very excited to be with you. My oxygen intake is 98, and my heart rate is 87. Yeah, I can discover measurements of the form that I inhabit, not unlike the measurements of a house that I'm living in. I am not the form, and I am not the house. I am the intelligence and knowing and caring for the form. To that point, I am in charge of the form and can change it. As a child, I remember being able to make a headache on one side of my head travel to the opposite side of my head. Then, realizing that if I can move the pain, why not have it exit my head altogether? And I did that too. Can you imagine the feeling I had when I heard Robert tell others to put the pain outside of their head? The hardest of all, though, is to have to cope with a diagnosis spoken by a doctor. Yeah, but we're getting past that too. So now that we have the truth virus, we are taking back our sovereignty. Doing this as one big family is so fine. Are you ready for some excellent news? The Earth 2020 culmination is imminent. Now, this is the Earth Alliance update from March 14th, and I've been reading some really exciting news since, but I'm going to read this for just in case you haven't seen it, and just bathe in the truth, the honesty, and the goodness of it all. A major planetary paradigm shift is underway at this hour as light forces grind the old 3D matrix to a halt. This is it. The great time of the Earth has come. The galactics are tuned in all across the cosmos, and all eyes are on planet Earth as starseeds and humans prepare to enter the fifth dimension. Massive galactic intel transmissions are flooding into Earth Alliance channels today from light forces heralding this magnificent time. Certain members of the Earth Alliance are designated to relay Earth Alliance data to the starseed population of planet Earth. Pleiadian Delta forces and thousands of other benevolent galactic groups are orchestrating and monitoring the largest planetary dimensional shift this world has ever experienced, as old Earth systems are completely giving way to the new 5D VTXC light grid of new Earth of magic and miracles. Stand by as all systems are upgraded. Pleiadian medical officers communicated this message to the Earth Alliance today for the protection and healing of planet Earth. Our blue ray light will now heal the world. Intricate technical details about this special Pleiadian protection and healing protocol coming up in a special Earth Alliance Light Forces transmission to be broadcast to the starseeds of Earth in the next 72 hours. Be in great peace and fear not, for all is as it should be. You are safe, and your families are safe. Make spiritual time this weekend to see the great thing that is happening. See it all from a higher perspective. Feel it all and process it all. Know that much more is transpiring than what is seen, and it's important to not judge things as good or bad, especially right now. Look deeper and tune inward to understand it all as this massive cosmic coordination takes place. The ascension archangels of this cosmos are lining up all across the galaxy right now in great service to humanity. The grand ascension evolution of humanity that has come is the greatest event in human history and is the most prominent event in the universe. You are here playing an active role in this grand evolutionary process, and you are a witness to it all. Without you, Great One, there would be no light in this realm. Thank you for your great sacrifice in coming to planet Earth at this time. And we're so glad you found us. We salute you and give you the highest honor. A new era of light has finally arrived on planet Earth. Great glory to the Earth. All hands on deck and Godspeed to all magnificent beings of light who dwell on the Earth. The Pleiadians. The Earth Year 2020. I'm sure I dreamt that many years ago. And now it is happening. The power of all of our transmissions coming true. Thank you so much for being here today to share the joy, the pride, and the love of this expanding family. We love you and we wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a very magical future. Thank you.